Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. My name is Brad, and I'm not sure if you guys know this already about me, but I absolutely love Halloween. You do? You already know? Of course. I've told you I think about 3 different times. And I warned you that we'd be drawing more Halloween stuff as we move forward throughout the month of October. So I'm gonna stick to that, and we're gonna be drawing a monster today. But not just any monster, we're gonna be drawing Frankenstein's monster. Now, we know him as Frankenstein, the big green monster with the bolts out of his neck, but actually the name Frankenstein belongs to the doctor who made him in the story. According to the story, the doctor who made him is Dr. Frankenstein, and he's the monster. But if you don't care that we call him Frankenstein or even Frank, then I won't care. All right, well then let's go ahead and make sure we have everything we need to get started. All right, make sure you have a nice clean sheet of paper. You're also gonna need a sharpened pencil, of course, because we always start with a sketch, which also means we're gonna need an eraser to erase those sketches afterwards or any mess ups we make. And then we'll do a dark marker or a pen for the end as an outline. Oh wait, not the end. I guess the end is our coloring, which is gonna be so much fun because our Frankenstein monster is green, and it's gonna be a whole lot of fun to do with different colored greens in there. But you don't have to have markers, you can have pens, pencils, crayons, watercolors, whatever you want. Okay, so we're gonna start sketching Frank's face. Now I think I'm just gonna do his face with you because there's a whole lot going on with his bolts, his scars, his really mean eyebrow or brow and big forehead, all these fun things that we get to draw on his face. So I wanted to kind of zoom in on that and let's just draw his face. We don't have to draw the whole body. And I also found a really easy way to draw his face or his head, and it's by drawing a big rectangle on your page first. So let's do that first. Let's have a rectangle go from maybe right here, down here. Maybe go a little bit down here. There we go. I'm gonna do another line right about the same distance away from the edge. Right about there, let's see that. Now if you need a ruler or something to make a straight line, go ahead and you can get one out. I have one handy right over here, and I should have used it. Dang it, I already drew my lines. It's okay, I don't need it. You could freehand it too if you don't have anything. Sometimes it's kind of fun just to freehand, especially when we're sketching. Maybe you can use it for other parts of this where you want to be a little bit more accurate. And then we'll do kind of roughly a little line right around there. Not really sure how high the head is. He's got a really big forehead and a flat top of his head. But we'll see how much room we have here. All right, so maybe let's mark where the different features are on his face. So maybe his eyes and his mouth and things like that. So maybe his mouth will be right about here. We'll draw a little line right there. That'll be his mouth. We'll have his nose maybe go down about here. And let's draw a line kind of right across here because he's got, like I said, if you look at my face, he's kind of got his big, but his head kind of comes out here a little bit. So he's got a little shelf over his eyes to keep his eyes kind of dark. And yeah, I don't think he has eyebrows, but yours can have eyebrows. Yours can totally have eyebrows. I guess we're just kind of making it up off of lots of different artists' interpretation of this monster throughout history. So this story has been around for a long time, since like the 1800s. So it's a really old story, the story of Frankenstein and his monster. Now I'm going to do another little thing right here that'll kind of just show like kind of his eye sockets a little bit. So it just looks a little scarier. It looks like he's got kind of a bony face. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have like a little half circle right here. Not a very big one. Just a little bit of a half circle right there. And on both sides. There we are. This will make more sense in a little bit. But let's first draw maybe his eyes. I want him to have kind of sleepy eyes, so maybe I'll have him underneath this little line right here. And I'm just going to draw another little half circle right here. Let's do this. Right there, maybe something like that. Yeah. Leave a little room for that nose. We're going to have to obviously add the nose on there. And this will be the eyes. Ooh, all right. Right now it looks like a paper sack with eyeballs. Or sunglasses. Kind of looks like sunglasses, doesn't it? All right, let's do the nose. So let's put the bottom of the nose. Maybe the bottom of the nose is going to be right here. So we're going to draw a little half circle right there, a U shape. And then we're going to do another one over here. We're gonna, almost like we're drawing like a little 3-leaf clover for the nostrils. That looks pretty good. And then we'll just do a little line going tapering up like that. Have it come out like that. There we go. And then you can just erase this line in the middle because that was just a guide. Oh, there we go. I like that nose. How's your nose going to turn out? I want to see what you guys do. You don't have to do it just like this. I draw noses all sorts of different ways. And that's the fun part about this. You can draw it however you want. Or maybe you'll follow along right here, and then afterwards you're like, hey, I want to draw my own version. That would be pretty cool. Let's add the pupils, which is that dark black part in the middle of your eye. And let's do, just kind of do a smaller circle, half circle in there. Try to make them similar in size if I can. There we go. He looks a little grumpy. It's like someone woke him up from the dead. Which they did. Alrighty, so we got that on the side there. So we got this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this this curve that we already have right here on the outside. We're going to kind of bring it in a little bit like that. Bring it in. There we go. And then we're going to just do a little line right about there. So maybe I cut in a little too much. I can erase those. There we go. Give him kind of a bony face. Kind of make him a little bit scary. Now, one other thing, you could keep the jaw really big, thick and wide, or you can taper it in, which means just kind of draw a little bit further in. Have it not be so wide at the bottom. And I think I might do that. I think I like it to be a little bit tapered. So I'll just erase some of that stuff on the outside. Again, you can leave it there if you'd like it. If you like the look of it just as a rectangle, just keep it there. All right, he's coming together. All right, let's do the hair. Let's do the hair because it's not really making sense yet. Let's do more of that hair. Okay, so we got these little curves. Oh, another thing too is just go ahead and erase this bit. It's nice to erase things as we're going so we can see what it's going to look like. There we go. Erase all those little bits in there. And then we're going to take, maybe right from this outside of this curve, go straight, I guess straight up, like this. Do another line that's parallel to this, right next to it. There we are. Ooh, now that's the side of his hair. And then we're going to do this really fun hair. Now, you can do your hair however you want, but this is how I want to do mine. I want to give him kind of a fun hairdo on the top. I'm going to do a little curve right here. And then I'm just going to do kind of the waves. Doot, doot, doot. It's a pretty awesome haircut. Pretty sure I had my hair cut like this once as a kid. Alrighty, and then we're going to do a straight line across the top because he's got a flat head. At least my version of Frankenstein has a flat head. Look at that. He's got like a little mushroom of hair on the top of his head. And it looks kind of weird without his ears. So maybe let's add his ears now. Now I'm not going to try to make him too much higher than his eyes. So I'm going to kind of go out like this and bring it in like that. So go do a little curve. There we are. And maybe I'll add little lines there. Kind of show the bend in his ear. Starting to come together. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go and maybe just do other little details, kind of curve that around. And with colors, you can kind of make those parts of his face seem like they're sticking out or sunk back in like those eyes, and we can do that with the colors. Now you'll see at the very end how I do that. But he's still got a little bit of a raised brow right here, so we're gonna do another little line, kind of like a little wave, whoop, like that. There we go. And I'm gonna do a couple more lines just for good measure on his head. Kind of got a wrinkly head. And maybe a scar, because the idea is that the doctor put this guy together and brought him to life. So there's probably lots of scars on this creepy monster. And brings him back from the dead. Let's give him a little, maybe give him some stitches. And how did he bring him back from the dead? I'm not sure if the original story was this way, but I know a lot of the stories are he has those bolts on the sides of his neck that they hooked up and electricity was surged through his body and brought him to life. So we're going to do that. Now, let's just assume that his neck's under there and this isn't coming out of his jaw, but maybe it's coming behind. Maybe like, you know, you'll see it on his neck back here. So I'm just going to draw a couple little bolts on the side. Little bolt like this. There we go. Maybe you can even draw some little lightning bolts. Little lightning bolts or something coming out the sides, or whatever you want to add to this would be a lot of fun. Just have fun with it. Always have fun with these things. And just remember, this is how I'm drawing it right now. Maybe tomorrow I'll draw it differently, and I guarantee, have a different style than I do. So play around with it. And have fun. So like this mouth, for example, I really don't know what to do with the mouth. I'll give him kind of a wrinkled face. So I'll have his line there and I'll give him kind of wrinkles around his mouth. So he looks a little old and creepy. And then maybe a chin. Let's give him a big chin. Awesome. Did I draw everything? Is that good? Let me see. Do I need anything else? No, I think I could do the rest with my markers. So right now I think I'm just going to go jump straight into my outlining. Let's go down here for that hair. I'll bet you didn't know that Frankenstein, the story, was written by a teenager. Did you know that? She was only 18 years old. Her name was Mary Shelley. And she wrote the story Frankenstein. That's really cool. I think a lot of times we think only adults can write stories that, especially ones that become really popular, like Frankenstein, but that's not true. I'm sure you have fantastic stories that you'd like to share. I know I made some stories, I wrote some stories as a kid, even some scary ones. They weren't very good now that I'm looking back on them. But you know what I did like about them was the fact that it was my idea, and it was a really fun way to get my ideas out. I got to draw on them, of course. I got to illustrate my stories, but writing is a whole lot of fun too. It's a whole nother way to be creative and get my ideas out, which I thought was really fun. And who knows, maybe the books were good that I wrote, but I just never really did anything with them. Do you guys like to write at all? Maybe you guys should write your own spooky story and then illustrate it on your very own. How cool would that be? Because I think actually Mary Shelley, who wrote the story, she wrote this because it was for, I think it was for a book contest, like a writing contest, trying to write something scary. And I do believe she won with such a creepy story. Gotta make sure we get these bolts in here. There we go. Let's do that mouth. Are you doing a mouth like this, or are you drawing your mouth different? I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. Go draw a little bump on the chin. Okay, this is the fun part, is drawing these eyes. These eyes. There we go. So yeah, Mary wrote that book when she was 18. And guess how she came up with the idea for the story? Well, I think there's actually more to that story. But she did say that a lot of the details about this story came to her in a dream. Isn't that pretty cool? A lot of good ideas can come from your dreams. That was a productive night's sleep. Oops, I'm gonna go over a little bit more. It's okay if I kind of mess up on that eye, because guess what? I'm just going to fill it in anyways. Make a dark pupil here. There we are. Do the other eyeball. fill that in. There we go. There we are. And the last little bit is just that brow right there on the top. Couple lines on here. And our stitches. I love it. This is going to be a whole lot of fun to color in. So hopefully you guys are ready. Hopefully you got some green colors handy. And let's start coloring it in and we'll meet up right after. And the final bolt is colored in. And I think I'm done. Ooh, he looks kind of spooky. Oh, I love the green. I really like the green. How did yours turn out? Awesome. Well, of course, I'd love to see what you guys make. So make sure you just tag me at Brave Kids Art Club so I can check out what you guys made, because I want to see what your version of Frankenstein looks like. And hopefully you're proud of yours. I know I'm proud of mine that I made right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sign my name on here before I forget. And we're finished with our Frankenstein. Thank you guys so much for drawing with me today. This is always so much fun. Like I said, we're gonna keep drawing some Halloween things, just kind of mix them in here and there throughout the month of October because it is my favorite month. So yeah, we're gonna be drawing a lot of fun little Halloween things here and there. So thanks again. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop it a like. And remember, before you go, oh wait, before you go, at the very end of this, I'm gonna show some of your work. I love showing off your work, and today is Friday, so of course you get to have some of your work displayed, and maybe yours is in there. Thanks so much to all of you guys who have sent in drawings to me. I've loved seeing them. Hopefully they're here at the end of this gallery that I'm gonna show you at the very end. But thank you, and remember, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time.